Shyamananda Pandit was the eternal associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was the dearmost friend of Srinivas Acharya and the Narottam Das Thakur. So we'll just try to discuss some of his glories. So Shyamananda Pandit, before he was known as the Duhkhi Krishna Das. So he was the son of the Krishna Mandal, and his mother name was Dukhiri. Basically, when he took birth, before that, his father had lost many sons and daughters. So that's why his father gave him the name Dukhi, means that miserable one, right? But you know, he was protected by the Jagannath ji, right? And Jagannath ji personally took care of him. That boy grew, and while he was growing up, he was, you know, listening to the glories of the Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, and he was naturally got attracted by their glories, right? And then his father asked him to take the initiation, right? Then that boy, he himself approached his father. Dukhi himself approached his father and told that the Hriday Chaitanya or Hridayananda, who is the guru in the Ambika Kalna, he's my guru. He will initiate me into the mantra, right? So please give me permission to move towards the Navadip Gram where the Ambika Kalna is there, right? And Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda, they are always associating with Gauri Das Pandit and Hriday Chaitanya. So Hriday Chaitanya was the pure devotee of the Lord who was living in the Ambika Kalna. His guru was Gauri Das Pandit. And his father was concerned for him that how that little boy will go to the Ambika Kalna alone. Then he asked him, how will you go alone? But he was desperate to go. Then that father told him, see, in the next month, so many people, the devotees of the Utkal Gram are moving to the Navadip Dham for taking the Ganga bath. Right, so you can go with them. So he accepted the proposal, and he eventually left from the Utkal Gram, and he then accompanied by the many devotees who were going to take a bath in the Ganga. Then he eventually came to the Ambika Kalna. There he asked the home of the Gauri Das Pandit. He came there and he saw the beautiful deity of Gaur Nityananda. Then he offered his obeisances to the Lord, and then there he found his guru, Hriday Chaitanya. He asked the Hriday Chaitanya to initiate into the mantra and the tradition, Gaudiya tradition. Hriday Chaitanya asked him, who are you? You are looking so young. Why are you come here? Then he told his whole purpose. He told that my name is Dukhi, and he told all the background of him. That he told that I am coming from such and such family. My family belongs to the 6 Gopas, like that. And by seeing the inquisitiveness and, you know, the eagerness to receive the Diksha initiation, Hriday Chaitanya gave him the name Krishna Das. So from that day he was known as a Dukhi Krishna Das. Then by seeing one proper day, Hriday Chaitanya initiated him into the mantra. He gave him the Vishnu mantra, right? And he started following the rules and the regulation of the bhakti, and he was serving the Hriday Chaitanya so menially, so lovingly. Hriday Chaitanya was very much pleased with him, and Hriday Chaitanya asked him to move towards the Vrindavan to serve or to get the guidance under the Jiva Goswami. He told him, you move to the Vrindavan, take a guidance from the Jiva Goswami, and you learn bhakti scriptures there, right? And he took the leave from the Hriday Chaitanya, and he soon departed for the Vrindavan. He eventually came to the Navadip Dham at the home of the Mahaprabhu, and he saw there the Ishan Thakur, who was the personal servant of the Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Ishan Thakur blessed him with many benedictions, and then Srinivas Acharya, and then our Shyamananda Pandit, who was that time known as the Dukhi Krishna Das, he left from the Navadip Dham, and then he went to the Gaya. There he remembered the past time, how Lord Chaitanya took an initiation from Sri Ishwara Puripal, and how the Mahaprabhu was dancing and inundating the whole Varanasi into the Gaya Dham, into the holy name. He remembered all these pastimes there. Then he met there with the Tapan Mishra and Chandrasekhar Acharya. He got so many blessings there. And then he eventually came to the Mathura Dham. He rested on the Vishram Ghat. He took a bath in the Yamuna river, and then he came to the Vrindavan Dham. He was asking people where the Jiva Goswami is staying, and he eventually reached the hut of the Jiva Goswami. Jiva Goswami asked him, who are you? What's your purpose to coming to Vrindavan? And he narrated his whole purpose there. And he told him that I am the disciple of the Hriday Chaitanya who asked me to take a guidance from you on the bhakti matter, like that. And then the Jiva Goswami remembered one time back, Srila Hriday Chaitanya approached Jiva Goswami and told him that I have one disciple named the Duhkhi Krishna Das. He will come to you, you guide him, and as soon as his mind gets fixed on the devotional service of Krishna, you can give him back, like that. And he remembered this story, this pastime, and he then accepted the proposal of the Shyamananda Pandit, and he asked him to do the menial services there, right? So he was doing many menial services. Our Jiva Goswami told him to do the specific service of the brooming the Kanana Kunji. Some people say that he was appointed by him to fetch the water for the service of the Lord, deity of the Jiva Goswami, right? And he was doing that service very nicely, very enthusiastically. He was very much eager to do the menial service for the Jiva Goswami. He was one of the favorite for the Jiva Goswami. And there he met with the other devotees like Dharenda Das Thakur and the Srinivas Acharya, and they were discuss the Bhagavad with together. They would do chant together, do the kirtan together. They would bake madhukari together, and they had one purpose for their life, like that, to serve the Jiva Goswami. And one day it so happened that he was doing his seva enthusiastically in the Kanana Kunja. He found the anklets of the, he found some special anklets. So when he saw that special anklets while the brooming that particular place, Kanana Kunja, he was amazed by seeing that. Then he took that anklet and he touched that to his head, and he felt a transcendental ecstasy, right? And then he was thinking, whose this thing is? So eventually he was approached by the Vishaka Devi, and by just seeing the vision of the Vishaka Devi, by just seeing the Vishaka Devi, he was dumbstruck. He was thinking, from where this beautiful girl is coming? And the Vishaka Devi asked him, please give that back and give that particular bracelet, I mean the anklet back. So he was thinking, he was telling the Vishaka Devi, no, I will give that particular anklet to the owner of this anklet only. Then he was approached by the Radharani herself. Basically, whole the pastime was seen. Radharani was seeing from the behind the tree, and then Radharani came forward. Just by seeing the beauty of the Radharani, he was dumbfounded. He could not speak. He was feeling that my soul is coming out of my body, and he was into the transcendental ecstasy. And then Radharani asked him, these anklets are mine, you can return me back. So immediately our Shyamananda Pandit gave that anklet back to the Radharani. And the Radharani was so pleased with him, and she told him, from today onwards, your name will be Shyamananda. The Shyama means the Radharani and Ananda means pleasure. One who gives pleasure to the Radharani means Shyamananda. So he gave pleasure to the Radharani by finding out that particular anklet for the pleasure of the Radharani, like that. And from that day onwards, he was given the name Shyamananda. And Radharani took that anklet and touched his head with that anklet, and particular tilak appeared on his forehead, and that was very special tilak for him. And then whole thing was vanished. Radharani and all the Sakhis were disappeared, and he came back from his samadhi, and then he was shedding his tears of love coming from his eyes. And in that state, he approached his Guru Jiva Goswami, and just by looking at his tilak, the Jiva Goswami was amazed. He asked him, what happened to you? How this happened, how this special tilaka on your forehead was the reason. And Shyamananda Prabhu said, he narrated whole pastime, and he also told that Radharani gave me the name Shyamananda, one who gives pleasure to the Radharani. And just by hearing the name, Jiva Goswami was so happy. He told him that from today onwards, your name will be Shyamananda. You are no more to be known as the Duhkhi Krishna Das. Your name will be Shyamananda, like that. But he told that don't reveal this story to ordinary people, because they will not believe this story, right? So he kept the silence. He didn't reveal this story to anyone. And then eventually the news of the particular new tilak went to all the Vaishnavas, and they were astonished to see this special tilak mark on the forehead of the Shyamananda, and this news spread to the Ambika Kalna also. And when Hriday Chaitanya came to know that he's wearing some special tilak, he was very angry, and he came to the Vrindavan searching for the Duhkhi Krishna Das, and he chastised the Shyamananda left and right. And but our Shyamananda Pandit didn't retaliate. He knew whatever he was doing, that was for pleasure of his guru only. So he just accepted the chastisement, and he went on with his services. One night in the dream of the Hriday Chaitanya, the Radharani appeared, and Radharani told that whatever you are doing absolutely wrong. Why you have chastised my devotee Shyamananda? That particular tilaka mark was given by me. No, you should not do like this. You must confess. And he woke up from dream, and he woke up from his sleep, and then he approached our Shyamananda Pandit. He begged forgiveness, and both were embracing each other, both were crying. And in that way he approved that this tilak is very special, like that. And then he was learning under the Jiva Goswami various shastras. And one day Jiva Goswami told all three devotees, Shyamananda Pandit, Narottam Das Thakur and Srinivas, to move towards the Bengal to preach about the message of the Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He gave him all the scriptures, gave them all the scriptures, the literature of the Goswamis, like that, and they departed for the Bengal. So that was basically the first book distribution party, for the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, like that. And then they were going towards the Bengal, and they came to the place known as a Veer Hambir. So there was one particular king named as the Veer Hambir in the Ban Vishnupur. So he attacked them, and he stole all the scriptures. And then the Srinivas Acharya stayed back to take care of the scripture and that particular king. And Shyamananda Pandit moved to his village called as Ambika Kalna, and Narottam Das Thakur moved to his own place, like that. And he came to Ambika Kalna. There he met with his Guru Maharaj, Hriday Chaitanya. Both embraced each other, and Hriday Chaitanya told him, now your job is to just preach the glories of the Lord. And from that day onwards, he started preaching. So wherever he went, he was just speaking the Harikatha, and he would do the Kirtan of the Lord. And he would collect so many people. He would basically transform the people's heart, and at the end of the day, he would have so many disciples, like that. He was just preaching. And one particular day, he came to the village of the Gopi Vallabhapur, and he was just preaching there. And the news came to him that his Guru Maharaj, Hriday Chaitanya, just departed from this world. Just by hearing the news, he fainted, right? And he thought that why should I preach? The purpose of my life has gone away. Now there is no purpose of my life. I also should give up my life. And in that way he was thinking. Then he had a dream. The Hriday Chaitanya appeared to him in the dream, and Hriday Chaitanya told him, don't have this thought. You just keep preaching. This is my mission. You just keep preaching the glories of the Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda. So accepting his instruction, he just kept preaching. And he basically practically covered whole Utkal Prant, now known as Orissa. He had many disciples known as the Rasikananda, and then the Balabhadra and Radha Madhava, like that. He also installed a deity in the Gopi Vallabhpur known as a Radha Govinda Dev. And he installed a deity. He said the worshipping of the deity there. He engaged so many people for the worshipping of the deity, like that. So in the Ashad month, on the day of the Krishna Pratipada, he left this world. So, and still we find his samadhi in the Gopi Vallabhapur. On the day of this disappearance day anniversary, they had this big festival on the disappearance day of Srila Shyamanand Pandit, like that. So it is said in the one of the song of the Acharya Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Krishna se tomar, Krishna dite paro, tomar shakti ache. So basically Krishna is the property of his pure devotees. And our we can't approach Krishna basically directly. So we must approach his devotee for, so that Krishna will give his shelter. So we can pray to the Shyamananda Pandit to give that drop of faith so that we can attain to the Krishna's devotional service